how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Let's begin our lesson. Morning exercises. Are you doing come to the blackboard? Then do exercises.
Hands up.
Hands up.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Hands
On hips.
Hands on hips.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Hands to the side.
Hands to the side.
Bend left, right.
Bend right.
Hands down.
Hands down.
1, 2, 3.
Up. 1, 2, 3, stop.
Sit down, girls and boys.
Thank you very much. Now ask my question. Children, what day is it today? What day? That's right. What season is it?
Cheese or now?
What month?
It is October.
What is the date today? Today is the 5th of October. 15th of October. Now who is absent from each other? All are present. It's very good. All are present. Today we are going to speak about our native republic, Dagestan. As you know, Dagestan is a very beautiful republic with interesting customs and traditions and very beautiful languages. They say Dagestan is a country of mountains and a mountain of languages. There are many nationalities and ethnic groups in our republic, and I can say that we live in peace and love. But we understand each nationality and ethnic group has its own language, customs, traditions. But we understand each other with the help of our great Russian language. Sometimes we call this language our second native language. Now, children, today we will tell about traditions, customs, languages, our cities and towns, villages, crafts, and of course, about people. Dagestan has 3 treasures. The first treasure is, to my mind, land, our land. The second treasure is water, the water, and the third treasure, our people. Outstanding, kind, hospitable, brave, witty people. One of our students will tell us about Dagestan in general. I know that Zoe has done this report, and you please share with me then 3 treasures of Dagestan.
Where is this Dagestan of yours? A mountaineer was asked.
Yes.
Above and below on eagle's wing. A mountaineer answered. It would be difficult to find a person who doesn't know where Dagestan is on the map. My Dagestan is situated at the jewel of 2 continents. The springs and streams of Dagestan run down its slope and hurl themselves headlong down its cliffs like suns into the priceless embraces of the rivers and the seas of Asia. To my mind, Dagestan is a carpet spread out to welcome presidents, prime ministers, scientists, farmers, poets, and philosophers. Dagestan has 3 treasures. The first treasure is the land, the mountains and the plains. The second treasure is the water, the rivers, the seas, and the lakes. The third treasure is the people, their skills and achievements. These treasures are like 3 priceless feathers in the wings of Dagestan, and 3 goldsmiths created in country out of them. The sole owners of these treasures are the people, the oilmen, the farmers, the cattle brothers, the jewelers, the stonemasons, the scientists, the doctors, and the teachers.
Okay, thank you very much. You told us about Dagestan in general. Now look at the screen, children. Here are some new words which we need during our lesson. Let's read them first of all in chorus, and then we will repeat after me. Homeland.
Homeland.
Craft.
Craft.
Treasure.
Treasure.
Mountaineer.
Mountaineer.
Witty.
Witty.
Wise.
Wise.
Hospitable.
Hospitable.
Stonemason.
Stonemason.
Swear.
To swear.
Oath.
Oath.
Ancient.
Ancient.
Generous.
Generous.
Outskirt.
Outskirt.
Quench.
Quench.
Thirst.
Thirst.
Turbulent. Vanish.
Vanish.
Fraternity.
Fraternity.
Appeal.
Appeal.
Who wants to read the words? Who will read? Aida, you please.
Homeland, craft, treasure, mountaineer, witty, wise, hospitable, stonemason, to swear, oath, ancient, generous, outskirt, quench, thirst, turbulence, vanish, fraternity, appeal.
Are there any unknown words? Do you know all words? Yes. Now let's begin our lesson from telling about the treasures, 3 treasures of Dagestan. You please, Sveta, tell us about the first treasure.
And so the first treasure of Dagestan is its land. And the stony land of the mountain folk is their most priceless asset. It gives them a hard life. To be able to grow anything on these stones, a mountaineer has had to carry earth to them all his life in baskets, in papacas, and even by the handful. May you feel crowded with what is the kindest wish a mountaineer can make. I swear by my land is the strongest oath sworn by a mountaineer. Today the homeland of mountaineers has grown bigger. Their deeds and names are known far beyond a native country. Their graves found to be found in the fields of Ukraine and Belarus, outside Moscow, Poland, and near Berlin. Yes, Dagestan has spread out. The fields of our modern mountaineers are the ancient, now renovated terraces, the gardens in mountains. The fields of our modern mountaineers are orchards and nut graves in Serginskaya Valley. The vineyards that run for hundreds of kilometers from the border of Chechen-Russia to the borders of Azerbaijan. Dagestan today is not only larger but more generous.
More generous. As you know, our republic is not small. Now, how many cities and towns do you know in Dagestan? How many cities are there in Dagestan? 1 city, Makhachkala, and towns. How many? How many? There are 11, yes, 11 of them. Do you know the name of these towns? You please? Derbent, you please? Kaspiysk, you please? Makhachkala, yes. Izbirbash, you please? Khasavyurt, yes, you please? It's not a town, you please? Sukhopons, yes, you please? Buynaksk, Babayurt, Kislyar, yes, Kislyar. Okay, thank you very much. It was the first treasure of our republic, the land. Now, who wants to tell us about the second treasure?
The second treasure of land is the water. Two travelers stopped at the spring on the outskirts of an owl. They quenched their thirst, washed themselves, and rested. Before leaving, the elder traveler said, "Good people probably live in this owl." I thanked them. Why do you think so? The spring is in good condition. They keep it clean. Not for nothing do they say in Dagestan. The house of the home and the spring in the house of the owl. Not for nothing does a mountain called say, "May the horse who without the spring perish. Many wells have been dug in memory of brave men who have died in battle. Many springs bear their names. Previously, when there were no clocks in the old, the young men used to gather at the spring to choose a bride for themselves among the girls who came to draw water. How many times has love been encountered here? How many future family ties have been noted here? Mahmoud writes, "Do you know of whom my song is? Go to the spring and you shall see her."
You shall see her, yes, about springs in our country. Springs are in the villages and the mountains, and even in our town there are many springs, as Sheikh Salah spring where we get water. Now about water we'll continue rivers. I do yes about rivers. Please, she will continue about the second treasure water.
A bright color is like the sea, a large noise is like the sea, vast fields are like the sea, depths of wisdom and soul are like the sea. Even a clear sky is like the sea, a cow that gives much milk are like the sea. Rivers flow into the rolling Caspian from a direction is Volga and Ural, and that another it is Samur and Samur, Volga, and many other rivers and streams. And they all meet together and are indistinguishable from one another. The waters will not vanish nor die nor fall down. Children of Dagestan, isn't your freight rivers? You have also united and merged into the sea of your great fraternity. I'm sometimes troubled by the thought, what is the wonderful Caspian Sea? Had not the beat, not and murmured and sunny as the Dagestan rivers. But at such moments I hear the voice of the sea. Days gone by, was a down-flowing state of sea, and once it saw the green hills and begged, give me water, water. The mountains answered its cry, and sea and signs then the desert has come to life, and overcome this joy, it's pleasured its blue waters.
Thank you very much. Now, what main rivers in Dagestan do you know? What are the names of rivers? Yes. They fall into the Caspian Sea. These rivers fall into the Caspian Sea, and Amina will tell us about the Caspian Sea and treasures of our sea.
My Dagestan is your about a silver belt, the focus rivers. They are much like brothers by the Sudan Istanbul. And then the gay swift rivers of Dagestan rush on of the silver waters of the Caspian Sea. The sea, my own native Caspian. In your turbulence I see the young daredevils of mountains country. In your calm, the dignity of its wise old man. The whole of Dagestan looks at you with into a climbing road. Dagestan itself resembles a laser fires. Young man, let's just step out of your waters. I don't know whether it is the Caspian Sea which adorns of Dagestan, or Dagestan which adorns the Caspian Sea. When I look at the sea, I see the whole world. The mountains say, when it is troubled, it seems to me that is
When the sea is troubled, yes.
turbulence and violence. And when it is silence, I think that there is silence everywhere.
Everywhere, yes. When our sea is calm and silent, there is silence everywhere. Do you like to go to the seaside in summer, children? Yes. Do you go there every day? Not every day, but sometimes, yes. And you must be very healthy. Now, the third treasure of our republic is people, outstanding, famous people. We can name many of them. Now, Rodion, begin to tell us
the
about
treasure of people of Dagestan. It is immense in this country of mountains. There are other mountains and other sea, which also are priceless. Visit the Caspian Plains in the springtime of flows wool of sheep. You will find yourself in a sea of orchids and ripening cornflowers. Take a look at the colorful mountains of apples, pears, watermelon, tomato. All the things that grace our table.
all are on the screen. Yes.
Come here in the autumn and you will see bright streams of your young wine. Once you tasted the head from the liquid, you will never forget the way to Dagestan. There are herbs and flowers, trees and roads. There are meetings and sorrows, friends and neighborhoods. There are cities in the world which are independent with own governments.
Now, who will continue this idea?
There are oaths which are like independent states. They rise by solid inspiration. They are Kubachi, the oath of goldsmiths, goldsmiths of silversmiths, Ansukot of food carving, Rohan of potters, Tsokra of tight round floggers. They are oaths of dancers and oaths of singers. The crafts and arts, this communites so original as the oaths. Children don't like to be second to anybody in skill. Switch courage, have just decided conflict with them. Imitation is not fashionable in mountains. The people say to carry on traditions rather one as an emulate. The poet of the lip said, the word nature has two meanings for use. The first of lands, the grass, trees and mountains. The second of character man. The diversity in nature of various place on rules and institutions.
Okay. It was about the crafts in Dagestan. Now, here is the text, video text on the screen will be about burkas. Listen to the story, to the text, and then you will answer the questions. Be attentive and listen to the story. From here.
Nicholas and his big family come from the village of Rakhata, high up in the mountains. Every day, they make burkas, woolen overcoats of traditional design. They're an essential part of everyday Dagestani clothing. Burkas are completely handmade. Its history stretches back more than 500 years. They're also made entirely from wool. To make one, craftsmen first comb the wool to soften and clean it. Then they use this special device that looks like an ancient warrior's bow to fluff it up until it looks like cotton candy.
A woman must make one burka every day.
They put the fluffy wool on a canvas and dampen it with water. They roll up the canvas, put it on a table, and roll the canvas back and forth at the same time.
The longer you roll the burka, the thicker it gets.
They take the thickened wool and cut off the edges with scissors to give it the proper shape. Then they wet it again and roll it. The wool is treated with metal combs to take out extra material. Here in Rakhata, burka production is considered women's work. During World War II, local women produced thousands of burkas for Soviet cavalrymen.
This burka is ready.
burkas are either black or white. Black ones are more popular with customers. That's why they dye some white ones. The dyed burkas are taken to the river to rinse out the excess dye. Then they're dried. Finally, the burkas are sprinkled with glue and combed again to prevent them from matting up. When it rains, the water won't be able to penetrate them, and if the rain is followed by cold weather, a dry burka will protect its owner from the cold.
Once upon a time, two shepherds decided to stay overnight in the mountains. First it rained, and then the temperature dropped. The shepherd in a burqa survived, while the other one, who was wearing a sheepskin coat, died.
There were occasions when a burqa would keep its owner safe not only from the cold, but also from an enemy's dagger, or even a bullet. But despite many advantages, if one is new to the area, the burqa can seem like a very awkward piece of outerwear. It lacks both sleeves and buttons. They still remember the day when Fidel Castro received a burqa for a present.
When Fidel Castro put it on, he wondered where the buttons were. He was told that none were needed. But he asked, how can you do without them? This is a partisan burqa. During a battle, you throw it off and fight with your dagger. Hearing that, Fidel Castro started to laugh and said that indeed the burqa was a partisan overcoat.
Today, people buy burqas mostly as gifts. Only shepherds and traditional Dagestani dancers wear them as an essential part of their outerwear. The story behind this dance is simple. A girl from the village of Andi makes a burqa for her loved one to keep him warm and to protect him from the enemy's dagger and bullets. The dancers from the Youth of Dagestan ensemble perform this piece in a very expressive manner, characteristic of Dagestani dances. All the different kinds of Caucasian dances are united under the name Lezginka.
What village was mentioned in this video? Rakhata, yes, it was village or Aul Rakhata. Now, is it an easy business or hard business? What do you think about this business? It is a hard business to my mind, and to your mind too. Would you like to run such business in your future? After finishing school or university, would you like to run such business? So please.
As for me, I wouldn't like to do this business.
To run this business? Why not?
No, because it is not modern. There may, some people would be laughed for you.
Would laugh at you, yes.
And,
If you wear burqas, yes.
It is not for
For women, yes. According to the text, who made burqas?
No.
Thank you. According to the text, thank you. According to the text, who made burqas? Men or women? Of course, yes, women worked hard work. Usually in Dagestan, does a woman, yes? Now, why do not, would you like to wear burqas in your daily life? Especially boys, would you like to wear burqas to school? Your Smith?
I think I cannot.
No, would you like to wear burqa? You cannot wear, yes, to school, for
I
example.
think one cannot earn much money and no.
No, would you like to wear burqa to school? Why not?
I think one cannot earn much money making.
It is a business. As business, you don't like to run.
We need much money for education.
You need much money for education, and you cannot earn much money running this business. Thank you. Now, Zohar, would you like to wear burqas every day?
No, I don't like because it's not comfortable and not modern.
Comfortable, yes. Why do you think so? Did you wear burqas one day or no? You have not such. Okay, thank you. You don't know about burqas and is it comfortable, but you think so. Okay, now let us continue our lesson, and Rajava Valvina will tell us about Kubachi and their traditions. You please.
I want to tell you about one of these owls. The owl Kubachi is a museum under the open air. Kubachi is situated high in the mountains among the rocks. Since 6th century, Kubachi berries were very famous in the Caucasus and Near East. The main material from which they made the berries was steel. The nails are daggers, swords, knives, weapons, and jewelry berries. Kubachi skilled workmen must master several professions, such as engraving, fretworking, carving, coding. In every house there is a guest room, there is a family museum. There are the ways which the family had collected during the century.
Thank you. Thank you. Now,
Durban is the second largest town in Dagestan, with a population more than 130,000. It is situated on the bank of Caspian Sea. It is southernmost town.
A graduate. He's a historian.
Durban
Here since
is the
Durban
economic and cultural center of southern Dagestan. Durban was also one of the heritage-making centers of Dagestan. Our capital where millions of people in the region, Canada, USA, France, and in many other countries too. There were a lot of archaeological excavations, and it shows that our town is the oldest even in the world. There are many historical monuments, such as the ancient fortress of Rinkalam. Durban is one of the oldest towns in Russia. People living in Dagestan are very kind and friendly. Durban has many stores, shopping centers, restaurants, but have a few museums, theaters, entertainment center. I like my town, it's great.
Thank you very much. Now, what do you think? What attracts our tourists? Attracts in our town? What attracts in our town? Tourists which visit our town every year. You please.
It is a Caspian Sea.
First of all, Caspian Sea. Many tourists have
our culture.
Culture, nature, what else? Mountain. In Durban. Yes. What do they visit? Citadel Narinkala. Now, any other museums? Do you know any other museums? Museum of Bistuzha Marlinsky, we always visit. We have excursion to this museum. And what can you say about people in Durban? Imagine and tell about their characters, you please.
I think people in Durban is hospitable.
People are hospitable.
People are hospitable, clever, friendly.
Friendly, thank you. You please. Brave.
Kind, wise.
Kind, wise, you please.
People are witty.
Witty, yes. You please.
Very smart.
They are very smart, yes. Of course, in general, we love guests, to go to guests, and to accept guests in our houses. Now, in the beginning of the lesson, we said that Dagestan is a country of mountains and a mountain of languages. Kili will tell us about the languages we speak in Dagestan.
We think that the leaders people in this church is the friendship of our hard-working collaborators and affectionate usual with other people of our country and the world, and especially their hospitality. For centuries, the people of Dagestan have spoken to each other in a different language. They have sung the same melody, different words. Even in our day, Dagestan speaks in Polish language and dialect. international searches performed in 7 languages, but there is one great language that has come to me to the people of Dagestan as much as their own mother tongue, and it has become their official language. So, as the Persian Russian language has become to golden change, which joins together the mountains of Dagestan and its people, Russian can understand why everybody here about the links, loves, links, canoes, and types communicate with Pushkin, Lermontov, and Tolstoy, both in their own language and in their Russian.
Then we'll continue.
Once they started to announce more Russian language for listeners to speak languages carried forward each of the Dagestan people. One of them is Russian, and the other is our own language. There are many languages in Dagestan. They are all dear to us, but we call our own language our mother tongue. If it's true that languages are the lessons of life, then the path of a Dagestan non-junior is illuminated by two letters. One is lived by his father to ensure he doesn't lose his way if it goes out. His life will also to expire. The second is lived by his great country, by his west homeland, so that he doesn't lose his way on his difficult journey to the wood war. Without it, his life would be dark and insignificant.
And what other languages do you know? What languages do you know in Dagestan? What languages, nationalities, Avars, Tabasaran, Kubachi is a village. As you place in other, Azerbaijan, Darjin, Lizgin, and others. Do you study your native language at school, mother tongue at school? Yes, of course. We study our language now. Ramazanova Mina will tell us about holidays, yes. We like holidays, religious holidays, government holidays. We celebrate them widely. You please?
They are many holidays which people of existence celebrate. They are Nowruz Bayram, Eza Bayram, Kurban Bayram, and Hafiz. Nowruz Bayram is one of the brightest and finest holidays in the Muslim calendar and in all Muslim countries as the beginning of New Year. The word Nowruz Bayram is translated as a new day. There are some national specials devoted to this holiday. They are making bonfire candles and celebrate a declaration of fasting in Ramadan. It is the first month of Muslim year fasting lasts 30 days. To the month Ramadan belongs to the most sacred and charitable month of the year. Kurban Bayram is another holiday which Muslims celebrate 80 days later after the Ramadan. During this holiday, Muslims cook different sweets and food.
Thank you. She told us about religious holidays. What other holidays do you celebrate, except religious holidays? She told about it. They are religious holidays, yes? What other holidays do you know? Do you celebrate at home? New Year's Day, yes. Mother's Day, birthday, yes, it's a holiday for everyone. Father's Day, okay, yes. Christmas Day, Easter, yes, we celebrate these holidays. Now we spoke about traditions, languages, people. We know one outstanding people, famous person, Rasul Gamzata. Let us read his poem. Our children prepared his poem. Come to the whiteboard, please. About Dagestan. A poem by Rasul Gamzata.
How can I help but love my land before it bent my knee? Among Ukraine, my Dagestan, shall your strength be?
The gifts that men only bestow, I share with you, my king. medals in a row. Upon you pick safe finish.
To you I shall mime use the words, lay verses in your lap, just let me down your forest cop and snowy mountain cap.
Thank you very much. And now, we have prepared song, Cranes. This song is by Rasul Gamzat too. Now go to the blackboard and let us sing the song. Shut your eyes, imagine. Traditions.
I see the Dagestan associated with brave mountaineers.
Mountaineers, brave, old mountaineers.
To my mind, Dagestan is associated with hospitable people.
Hospitable people, you please. Yes, you please.
For me, Dagestan is associated with traditional food.
Traditional food, yes.
It is associated with craft.
Crafts, yes.
There are many languages.
With languages, yes, different and beautiful languages. They said about
Just brave ones.
brave people, ancient places. Yes, yes, with eagles, high mountains, deep rivers, yes. And what can you say about the people of Dagestan? People. The main treasure, to my mind, the main treasure of Dagestan is people. You place people.
So people are
Hospitable,
brave,
brave, friendly, wise, kind, beautiful, yes. We are all peace-loving people, children. Let us live in peace, in friendship, live each other, and be polite to each other, treat each other in good manners. And then there will be peace on our earth. Now, as you noticed, we haven't spoken about our capital, Makhachkala. Yes? It will be your home task, and you will prepare a short or big report about our capital, Makhachkala. Next lesson, you will do this work. Now, I can tell only warm words, good words about you. You have prepared for this lesson very good. We can thank our guests that they found time and visited our lesson. Thank you very much. For all pupils, 5 marks. You were very bright. Stand up. The lesson is over.